Yeah, this is the last time I'm going to stick my foot in, but Steve is completely and totally in charge today because it's the it's funny number episode.
Oh, okay. I did wonder. I was gonna ask, like, oh, is Josh like, you okay? You ill?
I'm just bored.
What's up? Just don't do it anymore. All right.
Yeah.
Wants to play video games on his other screen.
Yeah, everyone else gets to. Why can't I?
No, I've never done that. How dare you?
You were saying before we started, literally, that's like, oh, I have to pay attention. I can't play game or something on the side. I was like, oh, okay.
I never do that. I pay full attention.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, and on that note, hello. My name is Quickwix, also known as Steve, and I shall be your host today. Not only just because it's podcast number 69, but because Josh needs time to recover after his castration surgery.
That's true.
Speaking of which, I'm joined today by Josh, aka Bottlework.
Hi, that's me.
And then next, I spent far too long today Googling if an olive was a fruit or a seed. We have Olive Meister, aka Will.
Hello.
And last but not least, we have the man that needs no introduction. But you can have one anyway. It's Sam.
I'm Sam. It's me.
Hey. So yeah, I am hosting the podcast today. It will probably be questionable, but we'll go through it.
Smells weird in here.
It does smell. I didn't want to say anything. It's humid, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like weirdly sticky. What's that about?
I did put out some potpourri. And then I ate it.
Oh god.
Okay, so let's go on to games. What have you been playing, Will?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I guess again not really played much. You guys want to check?
You played a game today.
How you guys doing on Zelda? How far in are you now?
Getting there. I reckon I'm one good sesh away from finishing.
Yeah.
I've decided that I'm going to steamroll.
Wow,
the
really?
end.
That far?
Yeah.
Are you like just trucking through the main story now then?
Yes. I don't want to take over like your bit, but basically my current standing is I done so much side stuff.
Yeah.
And with Street Fighter 6 coming out, I was like, I need to like wrap this up rapidly.
Bust a move. yeah.
But that's where I'm at. I'm like just following main story stuff. I've done all 4 phenomena across the map, which is like the main story stuff. And I am a few steps ahead of that, which I won't go into because it gets There's more to it, understandably. I think that's kind of obvious.
Spoilers.
Yeah, there was more to it, obviously, but I won't say what that is. But it's great. It's like as soon as I'm back on the main story, I'm like, oh shit, where am I going now? This is really cool. You think you've seen the whole map, and then it's like, oh, by the way, check out this, and there's like, it's not hidden or anything. It's just there, but you've just for some reason you've never noticed it. It's weird. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I was going to say I've not touched it. Unfortunately, I took a break because I was like, I've got a bunch of stream stuff to sort out, and like because I took the break, I'm like, I know it's going to be a big thing when I get back into it, so I just haven't turned it on. I know that when I do turn it on, it will be fine. I'll play it. I have fun, but I haven't touched it since.
Oh, I should get back
daunting. On. It's like a lot to boot up and start getting on. I think it's I'm impressed by just how even after we've put an ungodly amount of hours into Zelda after I bought it last week. And I'm still constantly shocked at how every now and then something literally brand new will just pop up. Like something that will change the game or some mechanic they'll introduce to you and just be like, yeah, here's this. And you're just like, oh, this is all new again. And there's more things to explore.
There's just so much. There's so much.
Yeah, I follow a YouTuber who does like guides for it all, and every day it's like, here's a guide on this. I'm like, what? There's like, game's been out for like 2 weeks or so, and they're still doing like guides on things that I have not even seen in the game. Like, oh god.
Yeah.
The only sort of guide or like article I read that really changed the way I play is I think it was on Eurogamer, and it was instructions on how to create an air bike out of a control stick and 2 fans. And
what?
And you orient them a certain way. And it's just like, flight, 360 flight. and it uses it uses no energy basically because it's just 2 fans, so it just goes for. I was like, okay, now I can just get around everywhere underground or in the sky. It's easy peasy.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
you have to send me that later.
Yeah.
Send me. Just don't send the guide. Just send a screenshot of you on it, and I'll try and recreate.
Me on my air bike.
But I think that's my biggest thing with the game so far is I think it's funny how all the marketing, and you can even see in these like promotional images, it's like Link on the edge of a big sky island, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at all this stuff in the sky." But the real exciting part of the game for me is the depths, which I knew nothing about. I didn't know was in the game and was in like no marketing whatsoever.
I don't think anyone knew, did they? Like going into the game.
I think when they first announced it, they said something like, "Oh, there's an underground," but they didn't like announce it until like after the game released, and then they did like a spotlight being like, "Hey, like you're gonna see it on streams and stuff. Here's the depths. There's more to Zelda."
Yeah, because that's like the whole thing I was worried about was like, it is the same map. They've stuck some, guff in the sky, but for the most part, it's still Hyrule on the ground below. But it's like, but they solve that by just having a whole nother map, literally underneath Hyrule that you can go and explore at your own. It's like, and that's all brand new, and it's fantastic, and I love getting about in there. There's the it's a, I guess, minor mechanical spoiler, but there's like the enemies down there are they have the same build powers that you do. So there's camps everywhere that's just like, there's a bunch of just tanks rolling around that will just shoot at you as you fly past, and it's like, this is awesome. I love it. And every time you beat a base down there, it gives you a bunch of like blueprints that's like, have you thought of putting a fan on a plank of wood, and now you've got a hovercraft? And I'm like, no, but I'm glad you told me. That's awesome.
I found one of those like blueprints that tells you like, oh, have you tried this? One of them was it was like a spinning thing attached to a hot air balloon with fire breathing things on every side that went around as it spins, and you hit it and it slowly goes upwards, shooting flames in every direction. And I'm like, that's really cool. Why do I need this? Like, what is the use case for this slowly rising death hot air balloon that I can't sit in because it's got nowhere to sit?
We had one where it was we talked to a guy and he was like, "Hey, here's some scaffolding," and we were like, "You nerd robot! You teach us about everyone else is teaching us about like the death cycle, and you've just given us scaffolding." And then you realize it's like the perfect height for the ascend power, so you can just infinitely stack these scaffolds and just climb anywhere. And we were like, I'm so wrong, nerd robot. That was an awesome idea. You've outdone yourself there, but.
Yeah, the Death Blender always sounds cooler, but you'll get more use out of the scaffolding for sure.
The scaffolding, for sure, I can't. I can't stop playing it. Even sat here now, and talking about it, I want to boot it up and explore the depths some more.
Yeah, I was playing so
much of it.
I was playing some after work today before going live. Now that's like a couple of hours, and I think rapidly approaching the point where I had to stop and cook dinner and start getting ready. I was just thinking like, no, I don't want. I could just feign all adult responsibilities and just keep playing.
yeah.
But no, I should probably stop. This game is still so good. I've had like a slight dip where I was like, okay, maybe it's not the best game ever made. It's just very good. But then I feel like I'm back up the hill again, where I'm like, no, I fucking love this game. This game's amazing.
It's almost, it's like I do it to myself where I'm like, right, tonight I'm going to do X, like I'm going to explore this mountain, and then I kind of do it until the point where it's not fun anymore. Like I'll be in the same area for 8-9 hours or something, and I'm like, man, I don't think I like that. And then I just remember, I'll just go somewhere else and do something else. There's so much to this game. I don't have to just do this one thing over and over again.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that because I tell people that, at the start it feels a bit like on rails, but then once you like get off Tutorial Island, then it's just like if you're doing something and you're like, I'm a bit like, it's fun, but I'm a bit like over this. There's 10 other things you can do, and it's so nice.
Yeah, pick any of the side adventures, and it's just a full-blown thing that is probably going to be really cool. Because you have side quests, which are like, my grandpa needs soup. And you're like, okay, Whereas a side
Yeah.
adventure is like, oh, hey, you want to go do this fucking cool thing over here in the corner of the map? That'll be really awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I do, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you'll just see like a superstructure in the sky and just be like, right, for the next 12 hours, I'm going to dedicate getting
Yeah.
up there and figuring out what that is. And it's always something fun. It's so cool. So yeah.
So have you played anything else this week, Will?
I did check out the System Shock remake.
Oh yes, this came out today, right? Or
Today
yesterday.
or yesterday evening or something.
No,
Yeah,
30th
yeah.
of May, yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know really what I can say about System Shock because I feel like I would be doing it a disservice because I've never played the original and I have no nostalgia for it. So I guess
Has anyone here played the original?
I haven't. I've heard and watched a few bits about it. All I've heard about this remake is that it is painfully faithful to the original.
yes.
In a world where a lot of remakes add a lot of quality of life and bits like that, I think this is just the original game with a really nice coat of paint.
Yeah.
But I haven't played it, so.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I feel like when you go back and play an old game, you make a lot of like, what's the word? You're like, I know this isn't going to be a modern. This is going to miss a lot of like modern quality of life stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like where this has been given like a fresh coat of paint, I feel like this is going to weird a lot of people out because it looks like a new game, but it plays kind of like an old, a very old game.
Well, it's literally like 30 years old, right? It's like 94, I think it came out.
Yeah, because I know a few people who say like System Shock is their favorite game of all time and stuff. But I think like for me with these like remakes, remasters, whatever, the best ones are always the ones that try to make you feel like you're playing the old game, but like they've done enough
I
where
agree,
it feels modern. They're not like it's not painful to play because it's not like old systems, but it feels old, but it's actually modern. They trick you, you know.
Yeah, you go back and play the actual original, and it's like, oh god.
Then the only people who notice are speedrunners who are like, oh, this mechanic has changed and now I can't clip through this wall. Yeah.
Well, I guess like it has been somewhat modernized. Like it's like free aim with the mouse.
Oh, okay.
This like the UI works sort of intuitively how you think a UI should instead of a weird DOS application or something from where it's like you don't know the flashlight shortcut, get fucked. So it does feel modern to play. It's just it's
what is this game? Like is it an FPS like Doom or?
Yeah, well it's like a it's like a BioShock. It's how BioShock pulled from System Shock. It's that some more. You sort of creep around a derelict space station and scavenge for supplies. You can fight everything, but like you want to at all points you want to be trying like, oh, I want to conserve as much ammo as possible, so maybe I'll just beat this guy to death with a pipe wrench or something. Lots of hacking mini games.
I was gonna say, I saw you hacking a lot today.
Cards. Yeah, the hacking's great. And then it's just you're given like a simple, hey, we need to take back control of this space station from this rogue AI, and then you just kind of go. And it's like, I feel like a lot of people are going to get turned off. I kind of enjoyed it, where there's no cutscenes. It's just audio logs and little notes and things, and that's kind of how you figure out. There's no like objective markers or anything like that. It's just like intuitively kind of figuring out what you have to do and where you have to go.
I love the idea of games having no cutscenes due to limitations, to then having cutscenes everywhere, and now we've almost come full circle back around where cutscenes are lame again and seamless gameplay is back in.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's good. But yeah, it's like one of those things where I think the people who are into this have already bought it. I think if you're on the fence about it, I think you're already not the target audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you play the demo and see if you're into it. But yeah, it's good. The art style is nice. It's got a kind of it reminds me of there was a boomer shooter that came out called Proteus. It came to Game Pass a couple months ago, years ago. I don't know what is time. But everything looks really nice. But it's got that indie game feel where it's like this all looks kind of high res and stuff, but it doesn't have a. I feel like the art style doesn't come together for me in a way where I'm like, oh, I really enjoy exploring this place. It feels a bit. Budget is a bad way. Is bad.
It's like pixel art, right?
Kind of, yeah.
It's like very retro.
It's chunky pixels on textures, I think, right? When you get really close to a wall, it's like, isn't it like chunky pixels?
Yeah, it definitely is. And everything's got that like, old box PC kind of style computers and things. And yeah, it's fun. I've been enjoying it. The voice actress for Shodan, the AI is fantastic, and she's incredibly creepy. And it's funny. It's like immediately you start finding audio logs where she's like, "I'm a god. You all need to be. You're all insects to me. I'm going to destroy Earth and then rebuild it in my image." And it's like, yeah, there you go. That's pretty.
Yeah. I think from what I know about System Shock is in the first and second games, she is what most people latch onto as like a thing to remember from these games.
Yeah. It's funny because I always thought it was more of like a direct antagonist kind of role, but it's almost like at the start of the game she doesn't even know who you are, and she doesn't ever like she's not like a robot lady that shows up to fuck with you. It's just sort of like you'll walk into a room and she'll be like, open the hatches and there's some turrets, and she's like, fuck you, how about that? And it's kind of like just indirectly messing
like
with you all
Looney
the time.
Tunes.
Yeah, exactly. You'll like walk into a room and she'll be like, you shouldn't be in here, get him, robots. And then you turn around and there's like loads of robots coming out of the walls and stuff. Yeah, it is. It's like Looney Tunes. Yeah.
Well, do you think you'll play more of this? Like, are you like itching to play more? Or is it like, I'll pick it up when I pick it up?
I would, except I have so much to play.
Busy times ahead.
And Diablo comes out in 2 days. And I don't know if I will go back to this. Not through the fault of the game or anything, because I did enjoy my time with it.
It's just June Apocalypse.
It's June, it's just in the way at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, any final thoughts on System Shock?
Not really. No.
Okay. Shall we move on then to Sam? What have you been playing this week?
Hello there.
Hello.
Yeah, I got. Well, I don't want to say I got baited, but a certain William here booted up. All he did was tell people that he downloaded a game.
Okay, no. I didn't even tell people I downloaded it. Okay. Okay. So you go. You can go.
I gave you permission to go.
Right. So, well, he told me. He didn't tell people. He told me, and then I told people. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So I've been playing WoW Ascension, which is a private server for World of Warcraft where you can create your own class, basically. You choose a class called a hero, and every time you level up, you get basically a point, and each skill in the game costs a certain amount of points. So as you reach level cap, you have a limited amount of these points, and you have to get these skills. And they're separated to tiers as well, and each tier has a set amount of like another cap within that tier. So like if there's a legendary tier, which is most of the movement abilities, like blink, sprint, stuff like that, it's basically so you can't just have like 10 movement abilities. You know, you can have 2, and then you're kind of stuck.
Warzone Gulch captured a flag a bit overpowered. If you could just use
PvP in this is already a bit iffy. I've been having a blast on one of my characters. Actually, I'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, basically, there's various different ways you can do it. You can take a build someone else has made, and then as you level up, it will give you talents and stuff as you level up, so you don't really have to worry about it too much, which can be kind of nice. Then you have there's this other one where it's like every couple of levels it gives you like a choice of 3 abilities. So like it's almost like a Hearthstone arena where you're given this option of abilities and then you're slowly just this mishmash of whatever by the end of it when you hit max level, and you just got to kind of like make do. Or there's the free pick, which is like just go ham. Just you still got the same limitation because it's only 60 levels because it's a vanilla WoW private server, but just take anything from anywhere, make your own class, and go.
So is this how you said about the class customization? Is there any other changes from the base game? Like, is it using vanilla models or
you choose
modern?
Okay, it gives you the option.
Is like PvP and dungeons the same, or have they mixed those up at all?
PvP in dungeons.
PvP and dungeons.
Dungeons.
Right. Okay. No, they're all the same.
Well, sort of, right? Because it's like there's cross faction dungeons.
Oh.
And
yes, yeah, they've got the cross.
The dungeons seem to have been shortened a lot.
Only Wailing Caverns and.
Is it? Oh right, okay. That's the only 2 I've done. So that's
Every other dungeon you still have to go the entire length through. But those 2, they've split up into multiple pieces, so you get one and then you're done in like 2 minutes.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I thought that was like an actual, like a trend, like a real thing.
No, unfortunately not. But no. So PvP, right? I'll touch on PvP. I've made a character which is basically a warrior, but he also has enhancement shaman stuff. So I charge people.
That sounds fun.
And heroic strike. But I also Wind Fury, and I also Storm Strike. And those 2 things put together is very strong. It's very fun. It does a lot of damage. But they've got the one unique thing they've got is they've got these like mystic enchantments, which is basically like really powerful talents in the form of enchants.
Yeah.
And what they do is they change the way you play the game. So, for example, I've got a healer character, and the way my character heals is by hitting enemies with Frostbolt. And what happens is all of the allies around the enemy I've hit with Frostbolt heal based on how much I've hit them. It's called like cryptotherapy or something. Cryotherapy, not crypto, cryo. And then like the more I cast ice spells, it makes my next holy spell cast time less, and then the more holy spells I cast, the more healing they get from my frost spells and stuff like that. So they kind of link in. And every character can have one of these like legendary super duper enchants which kind of warps the way you play. And then the rest are kind of just enhancements.
Yeah. So I was playing like a pirate build where it was like I had an enchant that was like if you only wield one-handed weapon, which is like no class does that in WoW. That's a complete, nothing does that. But it's like, but if you do it, if you take one-handed weapon, your offhand moves become a gun instead. So it's like, so I was playing like this rogue kind of character, and it was like half your moves, instead of being a stab, now you've got this this enchant thing. It's like now half your moves, instead of stabbing them, you're just going to shoot a guy right in front of you or something. And it's like it's just cool. It's just like, so I don't know, it's kind of like what I was hoping Blizzard would do with classic WoW. Now they've done like it's clear they're just going through it again. I kind of hope they would do like what this is, where it's like just let people go fucking crazy. What does it matter if in vanilla WoW at this point people are just making dumb builds where they just take half of a warrior and half of a priest and just put them together and like I don't know what happens. I don't care. Like, what does it matter?
Yeah. It sounds like
this a million times.
The first thing you do in like a private server or a private mod of anything, say like you got Dark Souls or something. Like, what can you do in this? Oh, we just gave him a gun.
Yeah.
It's like the first thing you go to in any game that doesn't have guns. Like,
how can I mod an AK into this?
Yeah, here's my old school RuneScape private server. Here's a gun.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I've been having. It's not. I don't think I'm gonna go like hardcore into it because it's after getting over the initial like, oh, I'm a rogue, but I can use magic. It's like you go back and you're like, oh, I'm just playing WoW. Like I have different buttons, but I'm still doing. It was a trip because I was like, I really thought I'd played so much WoW that the starting zones were just like ingrained in my muscle memory, you know. But I got stuck on like a level 7 quest the other day as an orc. And I was like, I'm not going to wowhead this. I refuse to. I'm not a fucking idiot. Why can't I figure out where to go? But so there is like, after a while, I was like, oh, I am just kind of playing WoW.
Yes.
Which is fine. It was fun, but you know, I've done it a lot.
There's 2 hills kind of that you have to, not that you have to get over, there's, I guess that you go over, which is the fact that you're a make your own class does the novelty does fall off.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, yes, I'm using different abilities, but like I'm still a guy with a weapon hitting a guy pressing skills that just use my weapon more.
You're still kind of bound by WoW's like laws, like physics.
Yeah.
You know, there's like global cooldowns and stuff like that. So it's like it doesn't get truly insane.
So you're not like a warrior and be like, I'm just gonna have firebolt and mix it in my rotation, you know?
No, you can.
No, that is it. Yeah,
that is what you can do. But the point is like you can't cast and auto attack at the same time. You know,
there we go.
You're not breaking the rules.
Yeah.
And then the other bit is like you kind of, because it's got Dungeon Finder, I found especially that like you hit level 15, get Dungeon Finder, and then you just do dungeons up to max level.
Yeah.
And I want to play a character where I don't do that, because it does, again, it has all these trials as well that you can do that gives you rewards that leads to cosmetics, which is like, I made a character, I wanted to make a hardcore character, because I was like, well, I've watched so many people do it, so bugger it, I'm going to do it myself. But I accidentally chose the wrong one, and I ended up choosing one where it's like you can only gain EXP from gathering and crafting, which, like, it sounds like a really cool challenge until you realise that professions, like getting the next level of your professions, is level lock.
Yeah.
So I got to level 9.
It's like mathy.
Yeah, I got to level 9, and it's like, well, all my professions are maxed. I can't level them up anymore. I just have to go out and grind materials to grind a level so I can level up my professions. Like, no, I'm not doing this anymore.
Horrible, yeah.
But there's some really fun ones as well, where it's like there's one that's like nudist, where you can never wear armor and you have to try and get to max level in one life.
It's not like you have a hunger and a thirst bar. So you need to eat food and drink water.
There's one where every time you have a fatigue stat, and every time you're not in a rest area like an inn, it goes down, and if it ever gets to the bottom, you just die. And that's run over. So you have to periodically visit inns to like recharge.
Could you imagine being in a dungeon and being like, oh shit, I've got to go to an inn, sorry
guys, we gotta wrap this up. I gotta get back to Goldshire within like the hour or I just die on the spot.
It's like an oxygen meter or something in another game.
But it's like, it's all stuff that I think I don't think I'm gonna stick with it just because it's like not official.
It's still just WoW as well.
It is still just WoW. I'm like, if this was like a Blizzard endorsed thing with Blizzard's like, because this is kind of, there is a lot of jank in this. They've done their best, but they're still, it's like they've shoehorned all this stuff in, you know, like in really impressive ways. Like nothing ever just flat out breaks. But it is kind of, you're like, sometimes you'll click on a UI option or something, and they'll just be like, nothing will happen, or a big blank screen will come up, and you're like, ooh, okay, I wasn't supposed to be here, was I?
The big Gmod error appears in the world. The big red error.
The purple and black squares like creep over the horizon. I'm like, oh no.
What's Blizzard's official stance on this? Like, are they cool with these sorts of things existing?
I don't
think they like
basically can't stop private servers.
Yeah, I think they tolerate it. Yeah, but they don't like it.
Yeah, I imagine if there is a legal way to shut it down, they probably would.
Yeah, this one's been going for a long time.
It's one of those. It's like flies under the radar, right? And then if it ever got really, really popular to where they thought it was eating into their profits, they'd probably shut it down. But
yeah,
it's still But it was crazy populated when. It reminded me of like an expansion launch when you get to the starting area and it's just chock full of people, and I'm like, I just need my boar heads. Can you guys chill for a bit, please?
Yeah, I accidentally flew to Crossroads once.
Yeah.
And there was like 20 people there questing, and I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Can't get too populated though, otherwise Kotick will send out the snipers.
I know. Exactly, you go to the main city, mate, you're looking at hundreds of people. Like,
they have. You can instance hop in the main city just because it gets so crowded.
Yeah.
Well, these things normally exist until they try to monetize them in some way, right? And then Blizzard will be like,
it's monetized. There's a cash shop.
It's monetized?
Wait,
really? Yeah.
It's completely free to play, but there is a cosmetic shop. A built-in cosmetic shop.
That's mad.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I didn't
think that at all. How are the cosmetics
looking,
though?
What, sorry?
How are the cosmetics looking? Are they selling Blizzard cosmetics, or are they making custom models and selling those?
I think that... I don't know. I couldn't tell you one way or the other. I haven't played
either
WoW
way.
In a while,
it could go either way.
But I've seen people with stuff that definitely was not in vanilla. There's like... I've seen people running around on like Burning Crusade mounts and things, you know, where I'm
it's got all the mounts all the way up to retail in.
Yeah.
Or at least
they're pulling everything
ones.
in some form or another.
Yeah.
So this is vanilla WoW, basically. It does not go into like other expansions yet. Okay.
Oh no. So again, they have different servers. So they have this. They have a Burning Crusade server, and the Wrath of the Lich King one is currently in their like alpha phase.
Oh, okay.
And they do have Mythic Plus as well as being shown there.
And technically, this is like the one me and Sam are playing on is like a Diablo season.
Yeah, it's only available for 2 months.
Yeah, and then all this gets dumped onto the main server along with your character, and then they start working on. It's kind of like a beta branch, you know, where they're testing all this stuff out.
So I have a question about this. One quick question. Since you were going to play Hardcore Classic when that comes out, right? The official version, Sam?
Yeah.
Is this like? Are you still going to hop over to that one, or is this like kind of taking that place?
Well, again, because I chose the wrong Hardcore, I haven't actually interacted with Hardcore basically at all. So I'll still definitely play Hardcore when it comes out.
The official version. Okay.
You can't play. Can you? Sorry, you go.
I was just gonna say, whenever new WoW stuff comes out, it's like it's half. Oh, it's World of Warcraft. I know I'll have a decent time, and half. I know at least 10 other people playing World of Warcraft right now. I know this is going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
So
for someone coming into this is more about like retail classic. Can you? Because correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know much about WoW. Classic WoW has now had expansions, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So can you not play vanilla classic WoW on official servers anymore because
no, you can. They official WoW has also got official vanilla, official TBC, official WoW.
Yeah, you can choose where to stop, basically.
I thought TBC. I thought my brother told me that the Burning Crusade wasn't that popular, so they're just skipping over it, or they stopped.
Maybe that happened, but I know that you can still go back and play vanilla. Yeah. So I assumed that you could play TBC.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about it because I had a random thought of like, oh yeah, the expansions came out. Wait, can you just not play vanilla anymore? Do you have to classic WoW in the future to go back again? But if you can
I imagine maybe at some point, they'll just wrap back around.
Just keep looping around,
Yeah, forever,
Yeah. Well, is there anything? Was there anything else that you've been playing this week, Sam?
The only other thing that I've been keeping up on that I'm really enjoying is Mechabellum.
Oh, okay.
I'm still like full on. I'm playing like 10 to 15 matches of this a day, which isn't a lot when they're only like 5-10 minute games. But I'm just, it's just got something in me that sticks. It scratches that like strategy itch. It's really quick. There's very little RNG. There is a little bit, mostly at the start, which I feel like I lost a game today because I just you get 4 cards at the start to choose how you start, what your starting force is, and this guy literally had the perfect counter to what I did, and there was nothing I could do in one round to buy units to like put me at a level playing field. And it took me like 3 rounds to like catch back up. And by that point, he's also bought stuff, and now I've got other stuff to deal with. And I was like, I literally lost when I clicked one of my starting cards. I didn't feel great, but that's only happened once in about, I must have played nearly 100 games now.
And is this game is Mechabellum are they the devs like, oh, we're going to do updates and stuff, or are they like, this is kind of it?
It's early access, right?
It's early access, but it's got ongoing tournaments and stuff going on. So
good. So it's still getting development stuff then.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many players it has, but I know that queue times are about 1.5 seconds at maximum, so I know that good. There's always drive for players.
How balanced are your matches, though?
It's very hard to tell sometimes. Like, you have a very visible MMR rating, and you're always playing someone that feels like they're... Like, you look at their number, you look at yours, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we're definitely in range of each other. But that number is actually just more... how much you played rather than how good you are, because your number goes up a little bit if you lose and a lot if you win. So it never goes down, so you can't ever lose ranking.
Is that forever though? Is that just like?
Is it a seasonal thing?
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah.
I'm interested to see this game launch and onwards, like when it launches, is how, because it's always that thing with early access games of how early access is this the whole game, or is there still a bunch of features that will come with launch? So
I mean it gets patches as 0.7.1, so daily patch, 2 days a patch daily, then a week to the next patch. So it's getting very regular updates, whether they be little hot fixes or bug fixes, whatever. But I don't know, the game seems to be popping, and honestly, it's not buggy, right? There's no jank. It's like, if this was, I didn't know it was early access. I thought it'd come out. It's polished enough. I would have assumed that it's out. So, I hope they just do a proper 1.0 release.
Oh, well. Yeah, I imagine they will if they keep updating it.
My favourite thing at the moment is everyone complaining. It has a general chat, a world chat for your region, and everyone complains this unit's really OP and blah blah blah, and just do this and you'll win every game. And then you see people you're against do these things, and you're like, but it's not OP, is it? Yeah. Because every single unit has a counter.
Oh, it's just people yelling to the void, isn't it? Just stress relief after getting dunked and 2 minutes prior.
Yeah, and then these people they'll build this unit, but then they'll spam it, and it's like, well, if you build too much of one thing, it gets countered even harder. And it's so funny the amount of free wins you get where people have clearly just heard oh, yeah, this build is OP, just do this and this and you can't lose. And it's I'm like, you need to build more than 2 different kinds of units, my guy.
Yeah, that's the curse of the auto battlers, is when something's good, then those like like for TFT, for example, if something's good, then they get taken every single time. It's like, well, now you can't get those units because everyone's building them. So you might be better off building something that there's plenty of.
No. You can't get that in this game. That's not how this game works.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, in this game, you have access to every single unit. Everything just has a price cost.
Okay.
So there's no like, oh, he's building this unit, that means I can't get it. What it means is oh, he's built 9 of that unit. I'm going to build the unit that counters it, and I only need 3.
There we go.
This unit counters theirs.
Yeah. But it's always like with the automatas, it's nice that there is like these counters. Like there's always something you can do. It's never just one unit is oppressive. There's always something to do. Anyway, is there any final thoughts on Mechabellum quickly?
No, it's a good game.
Okay.
If you like auto battlers and mechs, you should pick it up.
Good.
Yeah.
I really want to do some 2v2s.
I am not buying this game. Sorry.
Is it expensive? How much is it?
It's like 12, 15.
$14.99.
Oh yeah, I'm out.
Sam, I'd love to do 2v2s with you, but when Sam?
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
So, Josh, what have you been playing this week?
I am in like 100% maintenance mode right now until Friday. It's like, we mentioned all of Zelda earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my time right now is just purely on Zelda. I'm just like playing through that, having tons of fun. There's been a couple of small things that I'm like dabbling in, but I haven't put any serious time into. One of them is DBD, which is just an easy game to always come back to, I feel.
I've been playing DBD as well recently.
I had an utter blast playing with you chaps, by the way, when we did 4-man.
Yeah.
And I really want to do more of that.
We'll have to play some more. Yeah, that was that evening we all played together was the start of me sort of playing again, because I took a really long break, or not a long break, but I took a break from this game.
Like everyone I know did roughly. We all sort of dropped it roughly the same time.
Or like,
so, I don't know.
Yeah, the new Battle Pass came out and it was kind of shit, and Skull Merchant came out and she was really shit, and the 2 survivors that came with her was crap, and I was like, I'm just gonna skip this entire season. And then all the hype of like Nick Cage and the new killer looking really cool, and then us
just the
playing
Year
together.
7 stuff, I think.
Yeah, so that kind of got the fire lit again. So I've been playing a bit of this. I haven't actually touched Killer. I've been playing nothing but Survivor, having a lot of fun playing Survivor.
Gross.
I like the mind games of Survivor, being able to like outwit the killer, knowing that he is faster than you and should have the advantage. It's fun.
Yeah, I've been playing some Killer, and it's been nice because it's like since I played, they did like a big rework of all the meta perks. So like everything is slightly different now, and it's like, oh, I get to like redo my builds, and different things are quote unquote meta now. So it's been like interesting, like getting to know the game again.
Yeah, all the original perks that were meta when I last played, like a few months ago or a month ago, it's all completely turned on its head in a very interesting way. I don't agree with a lot of it, or I'm not like half and half, but it at least makes the game interesting, I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, just been dabbling in DBD. That's just been ticking along. I also I saw a trailer. I think one of this is the news story later. There's basically a whole bunch of new DLC coming out for Power Wash Simulator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is if anyone's been listening to the podcast for a long time, I think I actually talked about this game when it first came out on Game Pass a long time ago. But yeah, there were some trailers for. They do lots of like tie-ins with other brands, and they're doing SpongeBob and Warhammer 40k in the future.
And they've done Midgar from Final Fantasy VII, right? As well.
Yeah, they've done multiple levels from FF7, and they've done the Croft Estate or the Croft Manor from Tomb Raider as well. Yeah, so you can just go clean it.
Damn.
Yeah, there's not a lot to really say about this game. It's just very chill. It's very relaxing in a really good way. Just the satisfaction of just slowly cleaning things and having it like ping when you finish, and just slowly watching this horrifically dirty landscape get cleaned. It's a very hard sell, I feel, if you're trying to like tell someone to play it, but The fact that this is on Game Pass, I've just jumped straight
It's kind of like when you get a new bit of tech and it's got the bit where you peel off the clear plastic like sheet on the front of your phone. It's like that, but a video game.
Yeah,
oddly satisfying.
Yeah.
And it's really good to hop in and out of as well, because the levels take quite a long time to actually finish. So you can just jump in and out and clean a little bit and stop. And
I feel like with this game though, I'd play it and I'd just be like, I could have like washed a car or something. You know?
Well, that's what Laura tells me when I'm playing this. She's like, "You're playing that again. Why don't you actually clean?" And I'm like, "No, you just don't get it."
It's Midgar.
Yeah, because it's Cloud. But yeah, it's just super satisfying.
Are you going to get any of the DLC for this?
Well, that's the cool thing that I didn't realize is I'm not sure about the new ones, but all the DLC so far is just free. So you can just play Midgar, or you can just play the Tomb Raider level. It's just there.
Oh, nice.
So, because of that DLC, I was looking at buying it, and then I found out that it's just all free. So I was like, hang on, I played the Game Pass version before. Is it all on there? And yeah, it's just all there.
So this might be a bit slightly gross. In the Final Fantasy VII, like, can you clean the honeybee inn?
Oh God, I hope not. I haven't done any of the DLC yet. I'm very like the way I clean things in this game is the way I play it as well. I'm very methodical. I'm starting at level 1. I'm going level by level. You can jump into not random levels, but you can do certain levels at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So to fight, boredom, you can halfway clean one level and jump to another one. But I don't do that at all. Everything must be cleaned one thing at a time, one level at a time. And it's like when you finish a level, it shows a time lapse of you cleaning the whole level.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And you can see like how painfully methodical I am. When I clean things, it's like there'll be a house with like a whole bunch of windows and a whole bunch of paneling, and it's like one panel done, next panel, then window, roof, and it's just like
Is it ever like oh, I'm missing 1% and you cannot find it for the life of you or something?
I have had that a few times, which can be kind of annoying. So what happens is everything that you have to clean is basically like its own item, right? It has its own, I don't know what else to call it, like a health bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So say you're cleaning, on the screen now it's like a mini golf park, and they're cleaning a dragon. It will have like dragon tail, dragon arm, dragon head, dragon horn, and that way when you finish a specific thing. And as you get towards the end, it starts specifically labeling what you haven't finished cleaning. So when everything looks clean and you're like, where the hell do I go? It'll then be like, okay, yeah, that dragon horn that you thought you did earlier, you can go back and, you didn't actually do it. Go back and do it. There have been a couple of times where there are levels, there are also certain, almost like bonus stages where it's like a vehicle, like clean this car or clean this specific thing. And they have a million pieces. And sometimes I've basically cleaned the whole thing. It looks clean, but I still haven't cleaned enough to show what's missing. So you kind of have to like crouch and go prone and look around and be like, I must have missed something.
You missed the carburetor.
You can't just stand back like with the big wide hose and just like scattergun your.
Well, sometimes you have to. You have to just like go to because you can change nozzles to do like bigger ones or fine ones. If it gets like that, you just take the one that's like a laser gun basically, and you just start spraying everywhere and hoping that you'll hit something.
Well, it's because there's different levels of dirt, isn't there? You can't just like do a really weak but like wide spraying one and get everything.
Yeah, there's more to it. I don't want to scare people off before they've even looked at it, but yeah, there's like different levels of dirt. There's like you can buy cleaning fluids to make cleaning certain surfaces easier. And you can also, the bits I was describing about it being hard to find stuff, you can press tab and it highlights all dirt almost like fluorescent orange, which can help you find.
That's good.
Yeah, you can find missing little bits, which for bigger levels is really good. But like I said, when you're looking at a car and you've missed the tiniest bit of dirt under the exhaust or something, that doesn't really help.
Could you imagine having that feature in real life?
That'd be so much easier. But yeah, this game is just like it on paper it shouldn't be fun at all, but it really scratches like a certain itch.
Yeah, this game has a cult following for sure.
Oh, people love this game. Like people, there's like a whole genre now of just I'd call them like Zen games, right?
Where it's just therapeutic
games. Cozy, comfy games.
Yeah, and not to the point of like Stardew Valley, which is that can be comfy, but I mean games that purely exist to just be like
turn your mind off.
Turn your mind off and just chill. You have this. There's another one I played a while back called I think it was called Unpacking.
Yeah, I remember Unpacking.
Yeah, literally about just packing and unpacking stuff in a room to make it look nice. Just there's so many games like that now. And this is the one that I've just come back to. Just been chilling, playing a bit of this. It's been a lot of fun. So
I need to play this at some point.
It's right there on Game Pass, which I know you probably have.
It's Junepocalypse though. I'm sorry.
I've been watching Aaron play Viscera Cleanup Detail.
Oh yeah.
And that's a good one because it's like you can deprogress in that game because you'll be like cleaning a bunch, you'll be mopping, and then it's like go to pick up your bucket and kick it over, and it's like, oh, there's just blood and guts. Oh, I've spilled it all over again. God damn it!
I love the premise behind that game, which is I think if I'm right, is it like you are the cleanup crew to like say after the movie Alien and everyone's been killed, you're the cleanup crew to go and just clean the shit.
Yeah. It's cool. They get creative with it too. Aaron was doing like, look, it's like an AI uprising. There's just like robot bits and
that's cool.
Everywhere.
I like that.
Yeah.
I would say like I have to check that out, but I think I would get everything that I would get from that just in something like this instead.
Yeah.
And the fun thing about both Viscera Cleanup Duty and Power Wash Simulator is they are multiplayer as well. You can go with your friends.
Yeah, it
doesn't seem like I don't know. I feel like I'm not the target audience, but I feel like this is like you said, it's like a Zen game. Like you get it, you space out, you clean something. I don't know.
I feel like if I played this with someone else, I feel like the person I'd be with would say something like, "Oh, I'm gonna go clean this bit over here," and I'd be like, "Oh, actually, can you not like touch that bit yet, please?" You have to do it in a very specific order.
You're doing it wrong. Okay.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
I've seen people stream this game and it goes either one of two ways. It goes either they're just like sat there having a normal ass conversation and it's just basically has something on in the background, or they're spraying each other making squirting jokes constantly. So
this is my turn brain off game. It's just like it sounds weird, but like brain turns off, but I'm still oddly focused on what I'm doing. But really, really good. Really, really interesting game.
I'll have to check that out.
You really do, yeah. It's pretty fun.
Any final thoughts?
No, that's it. Literally, you've already got more out of me on this than I thought I would. So,
okay. Well, then I guess all that's left is for my game, which I've been playing. What's it called? Warhammer 40k Speed Freaks. I forgot. I've only played it today. So this is a game that was announced, and it is an alpha. Like you can go to Steam right now, click request, and you can play this game basically within 40 minutes once the download is done. This game is a lot of fun. It is an alpha, so like literally you log on and it's like there's only like a play button and it just shoves you in a match. I don't think there's any matchmaking or anything, but the premise of this game is that it's Warhammer like tanks or orcs. It's basically carts. There's like a good 7-8 different cars, whatever. And it's you versus another team. Like your team of like 7 or 8 people versus their team of 7 or 8 people, and it's very fast paced. Like every car has like a rocket booster, and it's your cars can shoot, they can damage each other, and the whole idea so far from what I've seen is there's like arenas where it's kind of like hold King of the Hill, where you kind of like hold it, and you're killing each other. It's combat, and it's so fun. And then once one arena is done, it will be like, oh, on to the next one, and you all have to like drive over to the next one, and then the third one.
Cool.
And then at the end, it's like now race, and there's like a finish line, and you all just like book it. Oh, it's so crazy. I've played a couple of the cars. I haven't played this too much. I played a couple of the cars. There's like some big tanks which are like very hearty, and you're like, they have like full 360 degree motions. There's like a car that like has lightning. I think that charges like your HP, because like after a while of fighting, your HP does automatically replenish. So you're not just like, there's no like health pickups or anything. It's just pure combat and chaos. My favorite though was this little like almost like bike car, which was quite fast. It can only shoot from the front, so like I can't swivel and attack people. But the whole premise of this car is that I can like latch on, see someone at a distance, and there'll be a little marker around them, and I'll press E, and that will like put a grappling hook on them, and it kind of reels me in, and then my right click is like a big heavy melee attack on a cooldown. So I'm kind of just like ramming into cars, slashing them. Like, oh, it's a lot of fun. Like, it definitely is an alpha from the features perspective, but like just the gameplay and the combat, it feels like, oh, it's going to be fun. I'm hoping that when it releases, it's not going to be too expensive, because yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this.
This is like nothing like I thought in my head. This is the first time I've seen footage. And when you said that you've been playing this Warhammer like racing game, my brain went to like Mario Kart or something like that.
Not at all.
Yeah,
like, no, this is
fine.
There's a tiny bit of a race at the end, but it doesn't seem to be that important. Like, the main thing is like the combat, the the combat arenas and holding the middle areas for the points. And yeah, the driving feels very smooth in this. Like, unfortunately, I can't tell if it's me or if it's like the game, but there are a lot of like walls, and I do crash into the walls quite a lot.
Is it kind of like arcadey or like floaty and fast in the way it drives, or is it more like heavy, like something like World of Tanks or something?
Where I've been mostly playing the little bike, it is very like it's very floaty and fast, but it also has some weight to it. It feels like the driving feels very satisfying to do. You've got a little booster on like a 3-second cooldown, so you're constantly speeding. It's very fast paced. It's not like, oh, you're slowly moving up and going around this corner. Like, I'm thinking like World of Tanks or something. Like, nothing like that. Very quick, very fast, you shoot people, and then once you die, like at the bottom, I think this is an alpha feature, but at the bottom it says like either like there's a change cart button or there's a respawn button, so you have to like press the button to respawn. But yeah, it's all very fast, very quick, just very fun. Kind of mindless, as I said. There's no matchmaking or anything. Like, as soon as you finish your match, it's like, okay, and then shoves you right into the next one. I don't think there's any like lever penalties because of that.
Is it like teams?
It's teams of like 7 or 8 people.
Teams of 7 or 8 people. There's no like meta progression or anything now. It's just you just go.
Just pure like game at the moment.
It sounds like Twisted Metal or something like that. Or there was what was the PlayStation 5 one? Like Destruction All Stars, I think it was called. That was another sort of racing, arcadey, combat arena kind of deal.
Whatever. Yeah, I know what one you mean. Yeah. All right, you've sold me. I'm downloading.
Yeah,
it right
I was going to say, like, you can just go to the Steam, request alpha. I think alpha access. I think you just get in straight away. And then download took me 40 minutes, and my internet's not that great. So
it's 7 gig total. So
yeah, and then I will say
a couple of minutes, son.
There's no tutorial. There's no like abilities, but like if you click in the menu, like escape on the menu, it says like tutorial, and there's like a YouTube link. So I think you go there, and that's how you find out all the abilities and stuff. For now, as I said, it is an alpha, but yeah, definitely worth a check out.
Yeah, your tutorial
feels very.
Tutorial is you are an orc in a tank, shoot the
I was
going to
say that feels very on brand. To just you click a tutorial and it's like screw you.
Yeah, there's
just play, you nerd.
There's 4 buttons, like you can quickly work out what to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I've been playing, and yeah, so I think we should probably move on to the news stories then. And first up, we have a good one. We have the travesty that is the Gollum game.
Oh no!
Oh, was that last week? Oh my god, that feels like so long ago.
It does,
already.
doesn't it?
That was last week. So the Gollum game has come out, and it has been universally panned. I believe it is one of the worst rated games of 2023, like on several different
It's
sites.
bad.
It's bad.
Don't even need to add 2023 at this point. It's that bad.
Yeah, I think on the day it came out, is it No Skill did a video?
Oh, Skill Up.
No skill.
No skill.
I don't know.
Weird shade thrown on that guy. Yeah.
Skillet did a YouTube, which did the rounds, and then everyone's done videos now being like, "This game is bad."
It's bad. Yeah.
And then the developers have done the age-old story of put out an apology, being like, "We're going to work on the game and make it better," which I think I've heard. I can't confirm this, but I've heard that even their apology was copied from someone else's apology.
No way. That cannot be true.
I tried to Google it and I couldn't quite see, but I think I heard from someone that like they copied, because like this year has unfortunately been the year of game comes out, it does badly, developers be like, we're gonna work on it a bit, and then maybe it gets better.
Chat GPT, please write me an apology tweet that I can send out to all the fans. I have not seen a game score, a AAA game score this low in a very long time. Like averaging like 4 out of 10 or something dire. It's really bad.
And the sad part is that I on a streamer website where you can request keys for games, I requested this game a year ago and they didn't give me a key, and I'm like, well, look who's laughing now.
Yeah, you got the last laugh, Steve.
I would have played this game.
The fun I had as a result of this is I went over to the Redfall subreddit after this game, not for any particular reason, just because every now and then, it's like morbid curiosity. I want to see what people talk about over there at this point. But the top post of the week was, this game is now the worst rated game of 2023. Almost as if like, thank God our game isn't the worst rated game of the year anymore.
Redfall is saved.
Redfall's saved. Gollum dived on the grenade for us.
Got the giggles. That's so stupid.
It's so dumb.
It's just Redfall and Gollum just in the corner high-fiving each other because they're not alone.
But yeah, this game had questionable DLC. This game, what even was funny was on release date, I think it was PlayStation released a video of like, here the developers talk about how they made this unique game. It was like, oh, that's poorly timed.
Well, they're not wrong. It is a unique game.
But they like proudly being like, oh, we did a stealth game where his movement and stuff is unique. But yeah, this game is an void, unfortunately. Like, I don't think there's any saving it.
The skill up video is really good at outlining just why this game is so ass. It's like, besides the fact that the graphics are terrible, the controls are terrible, the story is terrible. It just outlines how just every fundamental part of this game is just really bad. To the point where it's like, he gets halfway through the game and he's still running around as Gollum, doing weird errands, helping out his captors, and he has a bird that he births, and the bird stays with him, and it's like, but Gollum eats birds and fish. Like, why is he looking after a bird?
Yeah,
I feel like a broken record at this point, but like, somebody, I feel like the first response to, hey, I want to make a Gollum game is no. No, nobody wants that. Nobody is excited for that.
Yeah.
I wanted it. I wanted it to be good.
Yeah, you don't want this, Steve. You don't want this.
I wanted like a stealth game where you're like going around Gollum, like you have to stealth past like.
I can't think of a
goblins and
character I would
stuff.
like to play as less than Gollum.
It's so weird, isn't it? Like, I think you could have made something interesting, but at the same time, the thought in the back of my head is just, why Gollum of all characters?
I like his movement, like especially in the movies. Like I think he has quite unique movement. It's quite. I think is it Andy Serkis?
Andy Serkis, yeah.
Yeah, he makes the movement quite endearing in a creepy way. So I was like, oh, that'd be kind of fun to play as. But yeah, no, this is especially for the price. What was this like a £50-60 game?
It's a full price.
Full
price. Yeah.
That's
the most egregious
very
part.
expensive deluxe editions.
Yeah, and there was the thing about that you paid. I think it was $60 for the game, and you pay an extra $10 for the, bonus edition, and it comes with like extra animations that you can do on the D-pad.
Emotes, for a single player game.
Emotes, and they're awful. They're just really bad. And you also get, I think, the Elven language or something.
Yes,
which
the
makes
canon language.
Yeah, all the elves talk in their canon Elvish language, and it's like, why is that the deluxe?
Oh, really? Oh, that's so much grosser. I thought it was just the weird emotes.
No, so the elves talking their language is paid DLC in this terrible, terrible game.
I feel like 2023 has been like the best and worst video games has to offer all in 1 year. You know what I mean? I feel like we've had such high highs and such low lows already.
Everything coming out, I feel like nothing is average.
Exactly. Yeah. Nothing's forgettable. Everything's just like, holy shit, this is the best or worst thing I've ever played. Yeah,
because that's what I expected Gollum to be. Gollum comes out across all reviews, it averages like 6 to 7, and it is completely forgettable. There's no controversy because no one's buying it, and it just disappears. But now, if anything, this game I guarantee will sell better because it is so terrible.
Because everyone wants to check out the dumpster fire. Yeah.
Basically, like no one's buying it full price, but it's probably like the most wishlisted game on Steam right now or some shit. Because it's like, I'll play this for like a tenner. That'll be a fucking laugh. It's bizarre. It's so weird.
It's so weird. But speaking of weird games, we next on the news we have Cube World has come back. This game, which I believe has gone silent for 5 years, the creator has come back and is doing updates now and rebranding it and doing stuff. So for those who don't know, Cube World was like teased and made around the big Minecraft boom era because it is
it's that old.
It's
12 years.
12 years. Cube-based game, and even I played this back in the day when it first came out into the alpha, and like the whole thing was it's less about, it's not about like the building, it's more about just like playing an adventure. Like you had your character, you could play with other people, you had a skill tree, there was combat, like animations and stuff, and then I think I've read up a little bit on this, and apparently like when the game like came out and actually released, they removed a lot of like the skill trees and stuff that people liked about the game, and the game just died, right?
Like I believe the dev of this game has up and left a couple of times at this point, which I don't know, kind of doesn't bode well for, because he's just back again. Here's a new version of it again. It's like, go away, dude.
Also, it's like at the time when this was getting GIFs and things passed around, it was like, oh, this looks impressive. I remember specifically there was GIFs of like terrain deformation that didn't really happen in Minecraft. So it's like monsters would climb the ground and a big crater would appear, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But it's like time's moved on, mate. This doesn't look doesn't look cool anymore.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest Builders exists.
Exactly what I was about to say. Yeah, Dragon Quest Builders literally null and voids this entire game.
Yeah. And he's come back and like the whole thing was he put like a video being like, I'm adding procedurally generated NPCs now, like or characters, like so you're never gonna see an NPC that looks the same because they're all like they're randomly generated and whatnot. And then he's also, I think, moved to a new engine and added like weather effects and stuff. Like I watched a video, like the Cube World's coming back video, and it was just like, looks like a few graphical changes. It wasn't look like anything special.
It's like what we were saying. It was just like when Cube World first came out and was first being talked about long time ago. Minecraft, I don't think even had like a final boss or an ending or anything at that point. It was just like, here's Minecraft, mine diamonds and get a diamond sword. Isn't this fun? Like there was no like actual proper Minecraft game. Whereas Minecraft now has so many updates and different things you can do. Plus the modding scene of Minecraft is so huge. It's just like I'm willing to be completely proven wrong, and I hope this game, develops into something unique that makes it stand out more so in this day and age. But it just smells like the guy coming back to try and sell his game again.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that this game.
There is nothing this game can do.
To
make it unique or different.
Especially because I think this is like there's only 1 or 2 people making this game.
Yeah.
Whereas we have Hytale coming out, which is Riot bought the studio for that game, so they've got like that Riot money, and it is like seems a bit more adventure-y, seems a bit more like the world seems a bit more populated. They're like getting monthly like developer updates and stuff. So if you're looking for a game like this, I'd probably keep an eye out on Hytale.
Yeah, I'm surprised Hytale has been announced for a very long time now. I'm surprised that's not further along. Than it could be. Even this trailer that's showing now, that doesn't look very good at all, right? I'm not being mean. That doesn't look appealing. It just looks really flat and gradienty.
I was gonna say, yeah, back in the day, this game was like, oh, this actually looks pretty good. But now, I think we've had a few cube games, and it's like, this is no longer hitting the same spot.
It's like Sam brought up, like Dragon Quest Builders 2. If you want a kind of Minecrafty adventure with quests and cube like deformation, like that is the one to go to because it's so good.
Yeah.
Well, okay, and then I guess that's all we talk about this topic. So let's move on to the next one. We have Alone in the Dark. This game got a trailer. This game I've never played an Alone in the Dark game, so one of you might have to like inform me on it. But this game got an announcement trailer, and David Harbour and Jodie Comer are starring in this game now.
I did hear about them being in this. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Has anyone played an Alone in the Dark game?
No.
I don't know much about this series at all. All I remember was the Alone in the Dark game on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, where you could realistically light a chair on fire and swing it around. Yeah. Will knows what I'm talking about. It was like
I know. That was like the only selling point. Yeah.
It was like you'd set the chair leg on fire and hold it by the back and swing it around, and the fire would light the room as good as a game from that era could, and the fire would propagate up the chair, and it was like everyone being like, "Oh my god, this looks amazing," and then just no one bought it. I think no one bought the actual game.
Oh well, I'm sure they'll do it now to set David Harbour on fire.
Well, realistically set him on fire and swing him around. I think in a world where survival horror games and the genre itself is doing very well, I think this game's got a lot to prove. I don't think it's like the previous games. I don't think have been stellar. I think it's been like okay.
Yeah,
and it feels like just every horror game isn't really missing right now. Like Dead Space remake, really good. RE4, really, really good.
What about Callisto Protocol?
That was okay, I think. It wasn't bad. It was just kind of like,
I Oh, I think it was bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I heard a lot of people.
I mean,
everyone I spoke to who played it.
I finished it.
This is bad.
It was like average. It had a terrible story, and I think it was, unfortunately, because their whole shtick was, hey, look, we're like Dead Space. The fact that it was average to bad means it is now completely overshadowed by the Dead Space remake, which is
true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Alone in the Dark, if it's got something to prove, it does have a free-to-play prologue out right now that you can download on Steam to get a feel for it, I guess. Because there are a lot of horror games coming out this year, so I'm kind of excited to see like what are the standouts going to be. Like by the end of the year, like which game's going to take horror game of the year? You know.
Yeah. I can't see. It's unfortunate because in terms of like putting actors into things, you know, they're like, look, I can't not see David Harbour as Hopper from Stranger Things. It's just like,
yes,
true.
Yeah.
It's like how what's his face? Tom Holland. You know, he's in the Uncharted movie and blah blah blah. It's just like you're just Spider-Man at this point. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's just that's just what you are. So yeah.
Well, maybe this is David Harbour's way of getting into Dead by Daylight. It's like, if you're not going to put me in by myself,
that's his ultimate goal.
Daylight.
I'm going to get in by
That's the big get for actors these days, isn't it? Dead by Daylight.
You're not a cool horror character unless you're officially in DBD.
Yeah. Like, I just want to play next to Nick Cage.
Yeah.
He won't star in movies with me.
Oh, some weird future of DBD where you're for David Harbour's being chased by Nicolas Cage.
That would be fantastic. Well, speaking of horror games, we actually have another one on the news stories. Silent Hill, the new game Ascension, got a new trailer.
I did see
this trailer has. I've seen a few people be like, "This trailer does not look good."
Well, the actual premise behind this game itself is very interesting. Do you remember what the premise is?
No, this is the Kojima game, though, right?
No. This is their like interactive TV series game.
Oh, wait, is there a TV series coming?
Oh no, well, this is it. So you know how what is it? The Dark Anthology, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one where I'm pretty sure what they're doing is they're showing a whole bunch of like episodes, I guess, and everyone watching votes on what happens and can affect the series.
Oh, this is that?
This is that. So yeah, in the description here, redemption, suffering, or damnation, the actions of millions will determine the outcomes of Silent Hill Ascension. Genvid presents a new interactive series coming in 2023. So I've heard a bunch of stuff about apparently the series can just end early if everyone collectively fucks up and gets everyone killed. And
that's cool. That's kind of cool.
It's a very cool idea.
That's very ambitious.
You see the actors on Twitter like, please let the characters survive. I want another paycheck, please.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, Steve, the unfortunate bit is in the trailer itself, the animations look kind of ass. I don't know how to put it. They just don't look very good.
I also think they should probably like, again, like you were the only one who remembered that. Like they should probably lead with that. Like, oh, it's coming to a TV series, and you decide. Like,
yeah, because even I didn't know that when I first saw this trailer. I forgot what this was as well. I the way this trailer was kind of like portrayed, I remembered the fact that this was their, you know, again like dark anthology kind of game where you choose your own adventure and da da da. I didn't know about this big overarching component. Which I think, yeah, like Will said, it's very interesting. It's got it could be really good. Just have to wait and see. Because I think even if certain parts are kind of weak, like animations or something, it could still be completely held up by that cool premise.
Yeah, by the premise. Yeah.
So we'll just wait and see. Really, I think
it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, even if it's terrible, it's just at least Konami are finally using the Silent Hill property again.
Because even mine now, like, oh, I kind of want to play this now just so I can vote on what's happening on the TV series. Or
I don't think there's not a release date yet, but they're still saying 2023. So
Yeah, and so Silent Hill, if I remember correctly, then it's not the Kojima game; it's the PT game where PT was teasing a Silent Hill game
long time ago at this point. Yeah,
and then that got shut down. Okay, that's so. There's too many horror games that are all kind of similar in my mind.
Yeah, PT was the teaser game for Silent Hills, which was the Silent Hill game being written by Kojima, starring Norman Reedus with monster design by Junji Ito, and I cry every time I think about that combination because it sounds so good.
That wouldn't have been good. That's too many creative people in one place.
Well, that's the thing. It's regardless of whether it would or would not have been good, it was going to happen. So it would have been the version of it in my head will always be incredible.
Yeah, and I guess it would have been fascinating either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Silent Hills went to hell. And speaking of hell, we have Diablo 4 drama.
Christ.
So there's a few bits of drama with Diablo 4 right now. Nothing about the actual game itself, but first of all, Diablo have announced a competition where I think it's the first 100 or 1,000 players to 1,000 to get to max level and then tweet it out. They have to actually get to max level and then tweet it
on hardcore mode.
On hardcore. So if your character dies, it's died. They will be getting their names inscribed into a statue that will be on the Blizzard campus, and I assume will be touted out for BlizzCons and stuff. So yeah, that's a cool little concept. But then people have been crying that people have played Diablo 4 already. There have been people who have played in the open beta, the end game beta, which is a bit closed off, and people who have reviewed the game, who have basically finished the game, including popular content creators who were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna gear up and play this to get my name on a statue."
It's the solution to this, in theory, should be so simple, right? You just have a list of people that have either reviewed the game or have taken part in any beta or anything, and you just exclude them from being able to enter.
Well, that's what they've done now.
Okay.
It's just the people that have had full access.
Yeah, it's the people
who that had can only get to level 20. What are they going to do?
No, right? That's fine because that was everyone.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. People that like Steve's saying, end game beta access and stuff like that.
Yeah, so now they have come out and said that people who have reviewed the game specifically in May who had the reviews for the end game are not eligible for this. So there are some big Diablo content creators who are excluded, which kind of sucks for them. But in the thing of fairness, I don't believe anyone who played private end game betas have been excluded. But yeah, it's kind of it was a neat idea, but they should have pre-planned this out ahead a bit more,
Yeah, I think it sounds like they just weren't ready for really obvious questions about this whole setup.
It sounds like it was planned.
Tweet, man. It was the tweet of people tweeting. It was how do you not know? He genuinely tweeted out I don't see what's wrong with this.
Yeah, the developer
tweeted
out being there's nothing wrong with it. They've got no experience because their characters are being deleted.
Yeah, how's deleting all of their progress a bad thing? And it's how do you not see that people that have played through the entire game potentially multiple times might have an advantage in a race?
Yeah, and it's that combined with you could completely theory craft your route from 0 to 100 before the game's even out because you know the logical steps that you just knowing the direct NPCs to go to and this that.
Oh, it's half the battle.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah.
This side quest doesn't provide much experience.
Exactly.
But this one over here does.
Or this side quest sends me off to fucking other end of the map, which is a waste of time. I'm just not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But speaking about bad tweets, we also have the next bit of Diablo drama, which is they did a Q&A and they touted this Q&A. So I can't remember who it was entirely, but it was there was a Q&A with Diablo developers and they said, it's your questions, your fan questions. And the questions were very suspicious. they were like, "Oh, the graphics are awesome. What were the challenges to making these graphics?"
Oh no.
Yeah, and then people dug a little, did some research, and was like, "Hang on, all these people that have asked these questions are either like have tweeted once or have never tweeted, or like they asked the questions popped up after."
I love that one. I was
Q&A.
waiting for you to say that. The idea of them being like, "Oh shit, we're getting caught. Put the question up now." like 5 hours after the Q&A's actually happened.
Oh my god! God damn it! How hard is it just to pick? You don't have to answer every question. Just pick the good questions.
Or it's even like pushing the fact that they've again fucked this up aside. Even if you're gonna fake a Q&A, that's fine. It's just, like if you're gonna fake, like that happens. Let's not be naive here. Fake Q&As happen all the time.
Yes.
But just think for 2 seconds before you do it. To at least not like some of the apps that they're doing questions from aren't real, and they're putting them on screen. Someone's gonna Google it.
It's funny because it's like Diablo actually has a chance to be a Blizzard game that's going to do well. Why you keep fucking it up? Stop.
Yeah. Why are you doing shady shit? It's reviewing really well. Just chill. Jesus Christ.
Every question that they faked, they could have found someone somewhere that had legitimately asked that question.
Yeah. Well, now they did respond in the video, and they have changed like the title and the thumbnail of it, and they did respond like in a pinned comment below the video now, being like, "Hey, sorry, we fucked up. We got some questions from the community, but some we had like people from our studio and stuff wanted to ask questions, but they wanted to remain anonymous, so we just gave them random names and mixed up the platform that they asked on, and it was like,
just keep digging. It's just like, just keep digging. Just shut up and go silent and just pretend it didn't happen.
It's funny because friend of the podcast, Blankcast, today has just literally an hour ago just did Q&A for RuneScape for the Necromancer stuff, and he was like, "Oh, there are some questions." I think he said like he had some questions from the from the devs. So it's like he's just gonna say that they are questions, you know.
Well, again, I don't think.
Oh, you're outing him live on stream, Steve.
No.
Goddamn.
I don't think like I said, I'm not going to be naive. I don't believe a single game dev Q&A that has ever happened has been real, unless it is literally live, like a Reddit Q&A.
Exactly. None of them. Yeah, unless it's like live.
I refuse to believe any pre-recorded Q&A.
No, that's the easiest. No way. It's not. That's some tinfoil hat shit. None. None of them.
Okay. Not. I'm being dramatic for the video. Will.
They're either faked, or they know the questions that they want to ask, and they are going through being like, "Oh, this one's okay to ask," or "We want to ask this question."
That's just good
called
sense.
Research.
Diablo 4 Q&A. First question that we've picked out manually: why is your game so shit?
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it coming to PC?
It's not like this is some niche indie title. I'm sure people have questions about Diablo 4, and a lot of them will frame it in a really nice way to get a chance to be in a video, you know?
Is this game going to be as bad as Diablo Immortal?
Yeah. I assume they dodged every
but
question about anything to do with battle passes, shops, and premium currencies.
I didn't watch it, so I don't know. I just saw the drama around it and felt, that's funny. I guess next on the news we have there is a very niche game coming to PC.
Oh my god!
Ratchet and Clank is coming to PC. I'm not sure if this is the first time it is coming to PC or not.
I think it is. I don't believe any other Ratchet and Clank games are on PC.
Oh no, Rift Apart is on. No,
this is Rift Apart.
We all know what this means.
What does it mean?
What does it mean, Sam?
There's going to be a whole lot of R34 going around.
There's already enough. We don't need any more.
Wait, do you think Rule 34 is platform specific? I don't want to talk about this.
Well, yeah. It used to be when the 3DS had the Picto chat. The Rule 34 was very pixelated.
I don't want to talk about this.
That's the thumbnail sorted for this week.
The exact opposite of what I wanted to.
No, but yeah, Ratchet and Clank is PlayStation exclusive. I think it was PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah,
but it's coming to PC now, which I'm very happy about. There's a lot of like exclusive games that are like, after a year or two, come to PC and it's like, oh, that's what it should be.
Yeah,
we're Bloodborne, Sony. No one cares about Ratchet. We're Bloodborne. No one cares about.
I'm jumping in for I'm jumping in for Ratchet Defense Force because this game. I've played this game. I've finished this game. It's amazing. This game is fantastic. It's good to have a good single player game that you can play. Very well designed. It's very fun. It's very charming, and then it's just done. Nice. I like it.
It's fun. Well, it also came out when there was literally nothing on PS5 on it. So
basically, yeah. It's also it's one of the few games that I played on PS5 that I felt like warranted the hardware.
Nice,
because the game looks amazing, like through and through. It's a lot of it is like the like hair and fur tech on all the characters. It's like I feel like every game that comes out of like these games, you're always like, oh, it looks like a Pixar movie. It can't possibly get better, and then it always does every single generation. And this game just looked amazing.
I doubt I'm going to play this game while it's like full price and stuff. The thing, this is kind of sad, but the thing that I like about this news is that we basically next week we'll be having like a bunch of like Summer Games Fest and announcements. So the fact that they're like getting like this announcement out of the way means that they probably have good stuff. They don't need this game to fill. Like,
well, that's
Sony's done. We just watched it.
Yeah, that's That's the way. That's the weird thing people brought up is why wasn't this in the PlayStation showcase?
Yeah.
Because this is like a perfect thing to put in there, right? It's not platform specific, but it's like, hey, you can now buy.
It's encouraging people to go off of PlayStation.
Oh, no,
right?
they make
give Sony money.
Yeah, they make money on these purchases. They don't sell it on PC, and Gabe Newell takes like 90% cut. It's just more money. That's why they do it now. They've said openly that any exclusive, roughly 2 to 3 years later, will appear on PC.
Do you know what's funny? I've just gone to the Steam page for this, and the pre-purchase offer has the PlayStation logo on it. I think they must have just like directly taken the screenshot from like the PlayStation.
Maybe. I think it's it can be. I think if you play like God of War or The Last of Us remake on PC, it opens with like a splash screen of the PlayStation logo. And apparently, I haven't seen it, but apparently it's like really jarring on PC. You're like, what the fuck? This is so weird.
Weird. Do you reckon that's like an oversight, or do you reckon that's like them?
No.
PlayStation games are now on.
It's branding. Yes, it's all Sony. Deliberate. Yeah, it's Sony. It's a Sony game.
Okay.
But it's just odd because people.
That's never happened.
It's never happened. Yeah, it's never happened. It's always been you want PlayStation exclusives. You go to PlayStation. It's like, say, if a couple years from now Nintendo start porting like Breath of the Wild officially to PC, and then you boot it on Steam.
Nintendo.
You boot it on Steam, and then a Nintendo logo comes up. Would that not be weird? That'd be really weird, I think.
I guess, yeah.
But everyone should play this game. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. It's amazing.
When it's on sale, it won't come to Game Pass.
It's a hard sell to a lot of people. For I assume PC will be 50, 60 quid on launch.
It's 50 quid, yeah.
50 quid. Yeah. I think it's worth it, but that's, you kind of know, I guess, if you like Ratchet and Clank or not. Everyone's played one at some point.
I think I might have done back in the day.
Yeah.
Too many. That was when rentals were happening, and it's like I rented a new game every week, and I remember like, do I have that game somewhere? It's like, oh wait, no.
The Ratchet and Clank games also are just named incredibly.
Yeah, what can you? Yeah. Okay, what can you remember off the top of your head, Sam? What can you remember?
Up Your Arsenal.
Up Your Arsenal.
Yep.
Crack in Time.
Quest for Booty.
Why is Rift Apart so boring?
I know, right? The other ones are like, haha, asses, and this one's just like,
Rift Apart. Like Rift Agape or something.
Ratchet and Clank, rift in my ass. Just like drop all facade. Ratchet and Clank asses. If anyone wants to know our reaction to the PlayStation showcase, it's a whole ass video on YouTube. On the game.
I was going to say, are we going to double dip in some of those announcements?
I was going to say, I forgot about.
What great host!
Scuffed Steam. Yeah, I forgot. We talked about the state of play recap. Well, we talked about the state of play, and I thought we could go over it again quickly and just give any like quick updates or like what our biggest excitement from that showcase was. What about you, Will? What was your biggest?
Okay, I'll go. What the fuck? Marathon's back, and it's an
Marathon's back.
extraction shooter, and it's back. What's up?
I went on a
And it looks
big
sick.
I went on a big dive after watching that, where I knew like that Marathon existed, but I didn't actually know what it was. So I was like, okay, what is Marathon? Can I play this today? Is it worth playing? Like, in 2023. And I'm not sure, man. That game looks really, really old.
It literally is. That's the funniest part. Oh, go on.
Oh, no, it's just, even certain old games can still be worth jumping into to have a little look around.
I think for certain genres, there's like a cutoff, right? And it's like, for me, when an FPS is pre-mouse look,
Listen, CS:GO is lucky it's as good as it is. Otherwise, that would have been in the bin a while ago. Okay?
Well, I mean, like I can play things like a Doom remake as long as it has a proper mouse look and keyboard controls and stuff. I don't want to go back to like really, really old shooters. I just can't do it. But yeah, the funniest part for me was reading some of the reactions to this. Is like I see, it's back, and it's an extraction shooter, and that's like. I feel like it's fashionable to like poo-poo the current FPS trend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was battle royales. Everybody was like, "Oh, not another battle royale." Now it's like not another extraction shooter. But like, I'm so glad a proper AAA studio is giving extraction shooters a go. Like, I saw so many like, "Oh, not another one," but it's like we've got two.
That's the weird thing. I feel. Yeah, people being like, not another extraction shooter. And in my mind, I'm like, we haven't even had a good one yet. Can we?
Except for Hunt Showdown,
right?
We
got Tarkov and Hunt, and then like a bunch of. There's finally some indies that are starting to like crop up.
Cycle, right? Emeralders.
We need someone to hit the slam dunk.
Yeah,
we don't have the Fortnite of extraction.
Exactly. We haven't had the Fortnite. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
exactly.
Didn't Josh just say DMZ? Wasn't that extraction shooter?
Yeah, DMZ was okay,
but that's not. That's not. That was like half committing to a.
I feel like they gave up on it. They haven't given up on it. It's still its updates, but they didn't commit. They put their toe in.
They didn't
commit.
They didn't commit.
Like a custom lobby.
Yeah.
But yeah, it will be like, oh, not another one. It's like, let's get a good one first, and then we can get bored of it.
But anyway, and the other thing I saw was like, I don't know, man. It looks nothing like Marathon, and it's like, yes, because. That game's fucking old.
1992.
Like, what did you expect? It was going to come back with like full on, 16-bit graphics again? What are you on about? Of course it's going to look different.
Well, Marathon, I think even when it came out, was also kind of tricky to play. It was Mac exclusive, I'm pretty sure. So, and then, because again, I did a bit of a dive on this to just find out more. It was like, it came out on Mac, and then later it came out on Android and iOS maybe, like mobile phones. And then that's it, except for like someone open sourced like a port, and now you can play them all on PC.
Yeah, but for free.
But for free. But before that, it was just like, Marathon's cool. Have you played it? Of course, I fucking haven't. It's insanely hard. You can't play it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to try that.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh? What was there? Sorry, do you want to continue?
No, it's fine. You go.
Oh, I was going to say, Josh, what did you find as a standout from the PlayStation Showcase?
I think the easy one for me is Spider-Man 2, because it's just such the easiest slam dunk. It's like, as long as you don't mess up, it's just like, it's more of what I want, basically.
Yeah.
I'm trying to scroll to the trailer, but it's down here somewhere.
It did look good.
But I think, in actual honesty, in terms of something new that's coming out that might not look amazing, but I'm kind of interested to play, is that weird Splatoon ripoff, Foam Stars.
That's mine as well. I'm like, Splatoon, like, I feel like it's a cool concept, but it's hindered by being on Nintendo consoles, like with gyro controls. I'm like, if this is done well on PC with sexier characters, like.
They all look like they all look like they're from KDA, the pop band.
Yeah, I was gonna say you laugh, but it's like people latch on to characters like Resident Evil, Lady Dimitrescu. There's been several.
No,
you do.
You do.
No, I do as well for the meme, but like people do latch onto these characters. So I'm like, this could potentially do okay. I'm not expecting much if I'm really being honest, but I'm excited to see them give it a try.
Well, as someone here that has played a lot of Splatoon 1, 2, and 3, my biggest gripe with it always is just, for God's sake, I wish I could play this anywhere else without motion controls.
Yes, exactly.
So even if someone's attempting it, that's fine.
Yeah. What about you, Sam? What game was your standout?
I mean, I don't even need to answer this one. It's FF16.
Yeah.
Dragon's Dogma 2 gets a honourable mention for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Glad to see that still kicking.
Yeah, but I need FF16, and it's a constant daily struggle to remind myself that I can wait for it to come to PC.
It's really not far now, dude. It's like, what, 20th of June, I think it comes out?
Yeah. It is.
Not for PC.
Oh shit, I hit no on age. Anyone watching it, I got to the video, it said, are you over 17? I hit no, and now I can't watch the trailer. Sorry.
Damn. But yeah, like it's next month, and then if not, you have to wait till 2024, which sucks.
There is no scenario in my mind where FF16 is not a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 game.
True.
No, there is in my head, mate, but
think of literally the last Final Fantasy to come out.
But it's the director for me. I'm
but I'm also going to defend that one by saying that was actually a really good game once you got playing it.
Okay.
I think everything leading up to this, it seems like they've been fully transparent about what this game is, what their goal, what they want this game to be, and they have fully shown the quality and time and care they're putting into it. Hopefully, this does not all just shit back into my face in about 3 weeks' time.
Yeah,
but I would put money down that this game is going to be another. Like how all these games are coming out averaging 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
This will be another one, I think.
Yeah,
it won't be not Breath of the Wild, not crazy hype, but I think it'll be your Diablo is averaging 91, 90, Street Fighter is averaging 90, 91. This will be another one that is proper up there.
I think this could go either way. I think it looks good what they've shown so far, but is there I feel like Square Enix is one of the swingiest developers. Whenever they put a game out, it's maybe this is the bad one or the good one.
The most common complaint at the moment is people complaining that they've revealed too much in the trailers. And all I'm sat here going is I feel like I've actually seen nothing of what the game is. I've just seen a lot of really good cinematics.
I've watched all the trailers once, maybe twice, and I've always taken deliberate care to try not to focus too much, because I feel like you probably could have a few bits ruined if you remember them, I guess.
By the way, it's just a really good thing to live by with trailers. If you just stop hyping things up and paying too much attention, games are just better.
I'll always hype things up. I think it's fun to hype things up. I'll never not do that.
Yeah. I will say though, I do agree with Will that Square Enix can be hit or miss recently, but to me, again, it's the director. Is it Naoki Yoshi? I can't remember
Yoshi P.
Yoshi P. Here's the game. Again, I've only seen him from Final Fantasy 14, but he treats that game like it's his baby. And from what I've seen, he's doing the same for Final Fantasy 16. And so there won't be a decision that he won't have had a finger in. I really do think he will make sure it's something good.
I think you can see a lot of not just the game itself, but the development methodology. You can see that he puts into FF14 with his team there into this the same way FF14 is very open with its patches and what they're doing and what they're planning. Whereas you can see that in all the trailers leading up to this, where they're like, here's the combat, here's the 10-minute combat video where we show you how that works, here's what we're doing with the story, da-da-da-da. I think they're very open with what they're showing, which is good, ultimately, because for a game that's changing as drastically as this, going from turn-based combat to then a hybrid in 15 to then full-on action combat now.
Yeah.
It's very important to be clear with people about what they're getting and why it's a good thing that it's changing.
Yeah. I think Final Fantasy, as you said, Final Fantasy 16 is definitely going to be one to watch. It won't have the most universal appeal like Zelda, but I do think it will be a special game.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Oh, I think we can quickly go over the Warhammer announcements because they had the Warhammer Skull Showcase. Warhammer games are usually a bit hit or miss, so we'll go through these quickly. First of all, in order on this website, they announced that Warhammer Age of Sigmar Realms of Ruin, which is an RTS game.
Brave.
This is I think this is like the big headliner game that they showed off, but it's kind of like Warhammer doing an RTS game. How original,
Yeah.
Then next on the list they've got Speed Freaks, which I discussed earlier in the show. You can go back and listen to that if you want to hear our thoughts on that. Then we have Power Washer Simulator / Warhammer 40k. Josh talked a little bit about this.
This is what got me to play Power Wash Simulator again. It was this trailer.
This tipped you over the edge.
It did. It was this, yeah.
They showed some Space Marine 2 gameplay. That looks really awesome. I actually bought Space Marine 1 after June. I'm going to stream that, I think. They talked about the War Darktide update that adds 2 new maps and Chaos Spawn. I've heard from people that it's not that great still.
That's a shame.
See, I've heard that Darktide is actually stabilized very well.
Oh, okay. I'll still check it out once it's a little bit later on down the line, Then they have also announced Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. This looks to be like a CRPG, which I looked into it and it looks like it's a XCOM like almost.
Is this a XCOM?
There is a beta for this, which you can sign up for right now, and the beta is June 1st. So if you want to play this, you can go ahead to their website.
Is this like ship based though?
No, it's the people who made Pathfinder, Sam. And they're adapting a different rule set, a different RPG rule set to a game, and they're adding a bunch of stuff and shit like that. So
okay.
Then they have bolt gun controllers for Xbox. No one super cares. Total War Warhammer is adding a Herald Hammerstorm.
I thought that said Harold.
That would have been better. Legendary hero, and then Bloodborne reveal. Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl 3 is announced the Lizardmen trailer, which I played Blood Bowl 2, and Lizardmen were like the best team. So I'm sure we'll hear some thoughts on this from one Sam when they finally get revealed. And then the Warhammer 40k digital card game Warpforged announced the launch date, and that was announced and launched a demo featuring Tyranids. So there's a Warhammer stuff.
So too much Warhammer.
Warhammer stuff is still happening.
Warhammer is still a thing.
I will say and they also announced Vermintide 2. They announced some new levels and teased the final DLC class that people have been waiting for ages. But yeah, that is basically it. I think. Shall we do releases? We got some good ones this week.
Let's go for it. I love this. This is like the complete Steve show. It's like Steve into Steve into Steve. I love it.
Oh yeah,
I have not prepared anything. I assumed Steve also did this.
Okay, so on the first we have Katamari Reroll Plus Royal Reverie. I think this is Katamari 2.
Yeah, it's the curse of Katamari, where it's really good and people really like it, but they refuse to make a new game.
It's just remakes all the way down.
It's just endless remakes over and over and over again.
Funny.
This is the game where you roll stuff in a ball.
This is, I can see from the description here, this is Katamari 2, but remastered
and a new Royal Reverie mode or something.
Yeah, but just make the new one, Christ.
In Royal Reverie, roll up Katamari as the king of all cosmos in his boyhood.
Anyone here played Katamari besides me?
No, never.
These games are great.
It seems too weird for me, but then anyone who has played it seems to love it to death.
Oh no, Katamari games are proper weird, but in like a really endearing, funny way.
Yeah.
It's just, you start with a ball, pick up things that are smaller than your ball, and then therefore your ball gets bigger and you can pick up other things. And then you start off the size of a grain of rice. And then eventually, as you do a bunch of levels, you're going through the solar system, picking up planets and stuff, and it's just really good.
Okay, next on the list, we have the weird one for the week. This is Slayers X, Terminal Aftermath, Vengeance of the Slayers.
Jesus Christ, you want more words in that title?
I think it's intentional to be like that.
I am looking forward to this. I know what this is.
This is a boomer shooter with very much like 90s humor.
Oh, it's one of these.
Okay. If you watch the trailer with the music, it looks actually
These games do absolutely nothing.
I'm about to potentially blow someone here's mind, right? Who here played that game? I can't remember the name. Hypnospace something, where you play it as an online moderator.
Hypnospace Outlaw.
Hypnospace Outlaw. Did you play that?
Yes.
This is a spin-off game to that universe.
Okay.
In that game, Hypnospace Outlaw, there is a character on all the online forums on the websites called Zane. And he's always,
I remember Zane.
He's always
troll.
Yeah, he's like a troll, and he's like, Zane was here editing websites, and I think on his own webpage, he talks about how he's making a game. This is that game. I couldn't believe it when I saw that, because I was like, how is this real? It's so fucking weird. So yeah, someone listening will also know how just bizarre that is. But that's why the game looks this way. If you actually take a closer look at it, it looks very Hypnospace Outlaw.
Yeah.
In the look. So it's on Game Pass as well. So this will be, when it comes out, because they removed they removed Hypnospace Outlaw from Game Pass, which was a shame. But it's coming back the same day this is coming out,
which is tomorrow, good. June 1st.
Yeah, 1st of June. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, and then after that, also on June 1st, we have Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection, which is a collection of the free Etrian Odyssey games coming HD.
I can't spell what's going on.
This is a Sam one. This is
a Sam one.
Is it this?
You might want to actually click on one of the games in the bundle, because it is basically just a bundle.
Oh, it's literally just 3 games combined for a discount.
Yes, yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot.
The Etrian Odyssey games, I've played one once on DS, I think. It's a like a JRPG, but like I think the whole premise is that you have to make the map as you're going. Like you have to cartograph the map.
Yes,
I think old SMT games, not old SMT, certain SMT games used to do that. I think where it was like 2D go around a maze. There was one called Something Stranger, I think, did something similar, where it's like you go around in first person in a square maze, having to like write it down as you played.
Yeah, but you also this is one of those ones where you have complete control over your party makeup as well, like what class they are, what abilities they learn.
Oh, okay.
You can kind of like multi-class and stuff. Like, yeah,
I love the art.
Yeah,
the art's really nice.
But yeah, so that will be a good game. And then, okay, on June the 2nd, we got the big hitters.
Yes.
First of all, we got Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, boy. Oh my god, it looks so good. It actually looks incredible. Have you seen the reviews for Street Fighter 6?
It's reviewing very well.
It is absurd that a fighting game gets scores like this. Like, I don't want to like sell this short. Fighting games come out, and if they're good, they average like 8 out of 10. Because they're a fighting game. Like who cares? They're fighting games. Street Fighter 6 is doing insanely well right now. Apparently, it's just a really good package of amazing systems plus a shitload of single player and multiplayer content.
Yeah, I think the single player aspect that they've really pimped out is gonna make why this game is gonna do well. Like it'll do well regardless, but because it's like, oh, I can play single player and I can make my character, and and it's really fleshed out. I think that's going to be a big selling point for people who are maybe on the fence.
Well, it's also like, it's just Mortal Kombat has done so well for so long in terms of numbers. And it's always like, why is Mortal Kombat so good, whereas other fighting games aren't? And then you boot up Mortal Kombat, and it's, it's got shitload of single-player stuff. It's got full-fledged story with cinematics, and there is a game here for the average person to play, finish, and put down, and be like, that was fun. And that's what Street Fighter has needed for the longest time. I think this game's going to sell really well for a Street Fighter game and for a fighting game. I think it's going to do very well.
I think it would sell better if it was slightly cheaper, but I can understand why it is full price.
But why does it need to be cheaper?
Just because I think a fighting game is a hard sell for some people, because I think a lot of people drop off.
Game.
But it's a AAA game, and it's not a hard sell anymore because every single trailer is focused on about making your own character and engaging in a cool story. It's
also a games as service, though, right?
Not really.
Like it'll have battle passes, right?
I assume it'll have.
Here's the thing, though. I just want to jump in here. Saying a game is a game of service because there's a battle pass. Every game going forward now that has any form of longevity will have a battle pass. It now means nothing.
Well, it's like without like spoilers, like the next game you're about to talk about coming out is Diablo 4, which will also be a games as a service for £70. Like it's just
true.
Yeah, Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 looking insane. I cannot wait for this game.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, Diablo 4's it's not its release, but its early access is also on June 2nd. So this is if you've bought the game and paid like £10 extra, you get early access, 4 days early access, or maybe I'm not sure. Maybe America could buy like some KFC chicken or something.
They actually can, yeah. That freaky chicken and cheese sandwich thing.
I just want to ask everyone here: is everyone here playing this on Friday? Then
yes, me and Will are streaming it together.
I am not getting this game at all. Not now, anyway.
Okay, that's fair. You got Street Fighter, but
yeah.
Okay, because I mean I've got it, but the issue I have at the moment is if I don't get the 4 days early access, this game essentially comes out midweek for me.
On Tuesday,
yeah.
Yeah, it comes out Tuesday, but I'll be in the office, so I'll only have like 3 hours maximum.
They know what they're doing. Like it's deliberate that early access starts perfectly on a weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously next Wednesday we do podcasts, so I'm literally not going to be able to play it. So I won't actually be able to play it until next Thursday.
I mean, is it? I don't want to like endorse it, but would you personally drop a tenner to play with everyone else?
That's what I mean. I'm tempted.
I'm not telling you to. I'm just saying, like, is that something you would do?
Until this point, I didn't know anyone else who was playing at early access, and now I know 2 people. I'm like, oh well.
Yeah.
If it sways you, I'm playing on Friday, but I don't know if I'll have much time to play. Like,
no. Here's the thing. I'm not even like my first character. I want to do completely solo.
So you just want to jump in.
Yeah, I just want.
Yeah. Oh, just wait.
I don't want to be playing Diablo 4 and be the only person playing it, if that makes sense.
Well, right, okay.
A little bit of advertisement. I assume we'll be making a guild for this game. So if you would like to join his Discord, the Dirty Dolch, and I assume there'll be a sign up somehow there.
I'll make a post about it. I don't know how it's going to work yet. So
yeah. Okay, and then we take a jump from the 2nd to the 5th, and we have the Elder Scrolls Online Necrom, which is an MMO expansion. This one, again, I don't think any of us really play Elder Scrolls Online, right? Or have we?
No, I feel like this game gets expansions absurdly fast. I'm not sure if I'm just like losing perception of time.
I was gonna say I'm like I almost want to play Elder Scrolls, but I don't want to play Elder Scrolls. It's just
I personally, unless you're super into Elder Scrolls, I don't see any appeal to playing this over other established MMOs.
Yeah, I think it's just like the RuneScape Necromancer hype has got me like, oh, Necromancers, Necrom. That must be Necromancers, right?
Oh, just play RuneScape. Just
I think I have updated it today.
Yeah.
Okay, and then on the 6th we have Diablo 4's official release. So those who are not willing to pay the extra £10 can play then. Also on the 6th we have Amnesia: The Bunker. This is coming to Steam and Game Pass on release.
I hope this is good. I've got a lot of nostalgia for Amnesia games.
This isn't the multiplayer one, right?
No, you're thinking of Outlast: The Trials.
Ah, okay.
This is like Amnesia. I don't want to say they invented it, but they certainly like
they popularized with like the YouTube.
I was going to say, yeah. I feel like in my head, I feel like like really early PewDiePie and people like that.
And Markiplier.
It was all like Amnesia and Amnesia jump scares. Like before Five Nights, before all that stuff.
It was. They definitely popularized the like you're defenseless kind of run and hide style of survival horror, didn't they? Yeah.
So I hope this is good. Like if this comes out and people are like, this is actually pretty good, then I'll check this out.
And it's on Game Pass, so you've got less excuse.
Yeah, easy bet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then on the 7th, this isn't a game, but we have the Guerrilla Collective 2023, which is another games conference where they will be announcing stuff. This is like the start. Then next week, it's going to be like all hands on.
Oh, that I typed in a literal gorilla, like a monkey. What can they have to? What can they have to show? Right?
You ask me on the podcast that I'm hosting this week to have done research into this. Nah, mate, nah. Okay, moving on. And then also on the 7th, we have the Minecraft update, Minecraft Trails and Tales. I believe this is adding archaeology to the game. The last few updates have been pretty big.
Or caves and something was the last one, right?
Yes, where they added the axolotls and caves and oceans, right, or something.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't really follow these updates.
Yeah, but this is like a cool little thing. They often add a bunch of stuff. I remember people were crazy for the axolotls in the last one because there was like a rare blue one you could breed. So people had like these crazy setups and were like farming them.
Well, Minecraft updates are so not weird to me, but I just feel like whatever they could ever add to the game, it probably already exists somewhere as a mod.
But these are often quite substantial. So if you are into Minecraft or you've been wanting to play, like maybe the 7th is a time to hop in.
I love Minecraft.
Free update. Okay, and that's it for the week.
Oh, nice.
We are done.
We're done.
We made it.
We made it. And the podcast didn't burn down.
It didn't. I'm going to say thank you, Steve. You did a very, very good job.
Good job, Steve.
I see more hosting in your future when I can't be bothered to sort it out for a week.
Maybe Will can have a turn, you know?
No, I want Sam to host a podcast.
Oh, that would be a good
one. Yeah. When I find all this mysterious time.
Okay, Josh, where can we find you?
You can find me at BottlerWorks on literally any social media that exists. It might not be active, but it'll exist on there in some form.
Okay, and Will, where can we find you?
Hello, you know where to find me.
At Olive Meister and all the good social platforms. Okay, and Sam, where can we find you?
I need no introduction. I'm Sam.
No intro, no outro. He's just in and out. Talks about WoW. Refuses to elaborate.
And I've been your host today, QuickWix. You can find me at QuickWix, that's QuickWix, anywhere on the internet. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.